for joining us today. We are going to be going over a quick little piece on what we are going over. And so one of the big things that we're going to be covering this week is the Solana conference. So that's going to be a really fun time. That's going to be happening Wednesday, Thursday. And one of the things that we want to pull out real quick so we can have this over here is one of the big things that we covered today was the SEC's charges against Binance, and then what literally feels like Binance sort of going a little bit crazy or the SEC going a little bit crazy with their media game, going out with some memes. This really dragged out a lot of stuff out of the woodworks. And so we are going to go, we covered a bit of a TLDR with that. And what we pushed out was a handful of things that, one, the SEC put out a tweet. They made a meme, almost as bad as Gary Gensler's Steak and Steak video, where they basically put out, we are operating as a fucking unlicensed securities exchange in the U.S., bro. As a quote. And this was made in 2018. And so Binance, even per Binance's charges, then made Binance US to separate themselves and to meet those requirements in 2019. So it's one of those things that they sort of did to separate themselves. But one of the really horrible things that the SEC tries to do is they try to name Solana, Cardano, Matic, Decentraland, and Coity Network as securities. And so it's saying that what Binance is doing is it's trading securities, and it named these tokens as securities, yet those tokens haven't been labeled as securities. And even Algorand. And, there's the video going out now from 2 years ago where Gary Gensler, or please correct me on the date of the length of time, of how long ago, Gary Gensler was saying that Algorand was a good buy, so sort of interesting to see that play out. But what's really horrible, and this is one of those things that I had to sort of think of, I'm like, is that not playing that media game, does it help them or hurt them? Creating memes, obviously it's the SEC, but really not a lot going on there. And does it work to inflame media? And so what was really actually crazy was the amount of quote retweets and bookmarks. 470 bookmarks so far. What's really hilarious is the quote retweets. And so that is sort of hilarious. People are either trying to all right. So I guess fire Gary Gensler is the new trending hashtag on Twitter right now. But one of the big things that I wanted to see was that there was a lot of anger towards everything. And so one, I don't think that there should be any anger. The market's actually, one of the things that we saw we didn't see the big crash in the market. And so that people thought that this might bring. And instead what there's a really good what it did is because of the dip, it then liquidated a lot of long positions, which then caused a further market slide, but was corrected really quickly. I think on average anywhere from around 9%, dip, with some things actually recovering. So it was really interesting to see that market move piece today. Not going to talk about a whole lot of other stuff. Like I said, we're keeping this as a super quick bite. As we get ready for this week's going to be an amazing week. With the builders of Solana. Tonight had a great Crypto Monday with Ava Labs, one of the senior BDs and senior engineers. So, yes, I did ask them if they were sort of happy that Avalanche, if they had a bearish or bullish opinion on the fact that Ava Labs and Avalanche was not named as a security by the SEC. And so, that was followed by a no comment. But one of the things that I really liked that sort of turned out was just sort of how big the community looks to Avalanche to build on. So there's a lot of stuff coming up, that, I think we saw that how easy Google made it for people to spin up and support the ecosystem, and even the really good connection that Avalanche has to Bitcoin. If you don't know, one of the things that I know that there was a lot of TVL between Avalanche and Bitcoin, but one of the things is that there's more TVL piece using Bitcoin Avalanche network for Bitcoin processing than there is even on Lightning. So I got to go double check those numbers, but that was, from their senior engineer. And that's an amazing little piece, a tidbit there that is actually not that far from, highly believable. So some really cool stuff is being there. Also heard about some really cool stuff that is coming up on Avalanche, as well as stuff that is coming up in Solana. So I just think referrals. And it's going to be really cool to see. So I'm excited of what that brings, and I hope that you are as well. And just be ready for some really cool stuff coming up this week. It will be a little bit of a difficult week with the conference in it to keep to schedule. So, but we are looking to move TacoBytes to a morning show program. And sort of somewhat of the ideas is working Wednesdays, Taco Tuesdays, obviously, and what's best about a Taco Tuesday, learning and earning. 0 to 1 is one of the things that we found to be a really hard thing. So that's something that we will be working on covering, as well as we design the rest of the week. So we really hope that we have a really fun time planned for you. And I hope you really like what's coming up for TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen. As we just hit episode 291, a really big play is in effect. So let's freaking go. And as always, as we end every show, we end with two things: our words of wisdom and the best joke on the face of the planet. So as we end tonight, we end with our words of wisdom. Closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth. And the best joke on the face of the planet. Knock, knock. Who's there?